The ones to worry about are the ones that got homeschooled with the curriculum Abeka and the Good and
Yes.
the Beautiful. They're horrible. Like they because they are private. I had a black student in my micro school, and my micro school ended up closing specifically, and we pivoted to like an in-person where I went into different school model instead of having the kids come to me. So I tried to help but the families that were working with me find different homeschool pods when my micro school closes doors. And I had to pull one of my black families out. I was like, look, it's small class sizes, which is maybe needed because they had severe ADHD and mom didn't want to medicate. Okay, fine. That's your choice. However, I said, you need to look at the curriculum that they're going. I was like, he's the only black boy in this pod, and they use this curriculum. This is not a place where I would leave him. This is not a like, or you, like, not a good fit. Like it is blatant. It is the so if you want to homeschool for sure, I propose like if you can, that's probably the best. Like that's how you're going to be able to get them out of that mindset. But if you choose to homeschool, be very careful of the curriculums because they are blatant with the racism. It is
Mm,
insane. Like
mm.
the things that are in those curriculums, you actually couldn't even put in. Well, maybe in Florida, you could probably get away with it in Florida.
Well, look, we're up to our time here. I have one last question to wrap things up and round things out, and then Dr. Dennis, if you have something you want to ask or say, you can do so as well. This is kind of like a final words question, all right? In your final words here, for this interview, what does it take to raise royalty?
A village. It takes a village. I recognize very early on in my daughter's career, my youngest daughter's career, like I know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and that's why I sought out Dr. Dennis. I wanted her to be bilingual, but I couldn't teach Spanish. I want her to be. I hated science as a kid, so I wanted her. So I sought experiences that were strong where I was weak. I think so we get wrapped up into this is my child and I know what's best for my child. And you don't always, and that's okay. And you need to seek out your village because where you are weak, somebody else is strong and somebody else can see your blind spots and make sure that your baby doesn't grow up with these huge deficits. And then there's like just the level of support. Everybody, no one is an island. You definitely need support. And we all need to be able to support each other in order to be like able to move forward. I think like the other book that I was reading recently, about the revolution, like that was the gentleman who was the head of the revolution recognized that if he died and he didn't have a strong team around him, and he did have actually died in the book, it's very sad. If he died and there was nobody else around him, then the revolution would die because one person cannot be like we always look for like we need one person to hit spearhead this revolution. We need maybe an organizer up front, but Dr. King didn't do it by himself. Like he had a team of people around him, and that's why after he died, that's why the movement didn't stop.
That's right.
So I think that is what most of us forget. People keep waiting for. Well, Barack didn't. Barack is one man, and he didn't have his team wasn't supposed like it's you need a team, you need a group. No man is an island. You need to work with it, and we need to push each other. That's my final thought.
Thank you so much, Dr. Person. Dr. Aisha Dennis, you have some final words you want to say?
Yes. So Michelle, I just have a final question for you. Knowing that some parents identify the importance of investing in their children at a young age, how can we encourage parents to make an investment in their children's education? Not just, okay, in enrichment, not just in sports. How can we explain to parents the value of investing money in participating in BES so that their children are exposed to the type of content that we want them to thrive in because they see themselves?
That is hard because that is the $64,000 question, right? Like that's always that they don't get it, and that goes back into all the institutional things because they don't see it. So how can you get it if you don't see it? Like it takes a special kind of person to be able to see outside of their circumstances when their circumstances all look a certain way. And I think that's where we come in and being outside the box thinkers to try to meet that. I'm always a like I meet people where they are type thing. And so we have to figure out where our parents are and meet them where they are and kind of help lift them up in terms of offering experiences. Best example I can think of is my boyfriend right now. We started dating years ago. He took me skiing. And my sister was like, skiing, black folks don't ski. What you going skiing for? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going skiing. Loved it. Came back, took my nephew and my son, who were 4 years old at the time. They're both 23 now. My nephew fell in love with skateboard with skiing. Said he wanted to quit skiing and snowboarded. My nephew snowboarded for years. He did it competitively. Loved it. Well, and then so finally my after I took him out like 3 or 4 times, my sister was like, okay, I guess I'll come. And now, as a family, literally as a family, we go skiing at least once a year. And like we travel to ski at least once a year. And all of our kids can ski. And it's a thing that we do now. Everybody loves it. But it started because I had one experience and I brought in my 2 kids. And then my sister saw me with our kids and was like, all right, I'll come too. And then it became my daughter, black diamond skier. She joined the ski club at her, like zooms through trees and everything, makes me nervous. I can't ski that well. And but it started with one experience. And so I think we have to, as we grow, like bring them in where they are, expose them to a different way of thinking, a different experience, a different thought, and then they'll bring 2 more people who will bring 5 more people, and then we can expand if we get really good at the entry level thing, we can then expand. I think one of the things that you could do is you have too many things for people to pick from and it becomes overwhelming. So let's figure out something small, bring them in, get the thumbs up, bring somebody else, expand the offering. They'll bring more people, expand again, and then like, you kind of grow it in that way. I mean, literally, everybody we go skiing every year now, and didn't nobody know how to ski before, and before 2007, nobody knew how to ski.
We're gonna take that and run with it. Michelle, that was a great piece of advice that even we at Black Education Station are starting to understand and apply when marketing the network. Less is more,
Mm-hmm.
and finding those items and those characters, those personalities that are the strongest and the best of us to bring people in to the rest of us. You see,
Mm-hmm.
taking the
Mm-hmm.
best of us to introduce to the rest of us. Ooh, I got bars. Your boy got
Got bars,
bars.
got bars.
All right. So with that, are there any places and spaces that you'd like for people to know about that they can engage and learn more about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. I am Just Like Me Presents on pretty much everything. I'm Just Like Me Presents on Facebook. I'm Just Like Me Presents on Instagram. I'm Just Like Me Presents on TikTok. So if you go to any of those places, you just look for Just Like Me Presents, and you'll find me. You'll find me, my content, and the website is justlikemepresents.com. And that's where you have our books, our curriculum, our author supports. Everything is there.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being our first guest of the Raising Royalty reboot.
Mhm.
It's been an honor and a pleasure. I enjoyed this immensely. Dr. Aisha Dennis, what did you think of this interview?
I thought it was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Thank you guys for
Uh,
having me. I really appreciate it.
no
Thank you.
problem. Thank you again all for being here. And you can find this interview on YouTube along with some of our previous interviews, and also our future interviews will all be featured on YouTube for the sake of allowing the public for public interest. Okay.
Yep.
Take care, everyone. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Night.